Here's what makes buying new development in New York City different. You find your dream apartment, negotiate a great price, and then discover $100,000 in surprise closing costs that no one ever told you about. Stop right there. After helping countless buyers navigate new development purchases in Manhattan's luxury market, we've seen this scenario play out far too many times. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden fees that could cost you six figures when buying a new development in New York City. Here's what makes this particularly important right now. There is a surge in new luxury developments across Manhattan. More buyers than ever are encountering these surprise costs. We're gonna walk you through exactly what these fees are, which ones we can negotiate, and how to properly prepare so you don't get blindsided at the closing. Okay, let's break down the stark reality of what you're actually paying for when you buy a new development. While a resale property might have closing costs of 1.5 to 3% of the purchase price, new development can run you 4 to 6%. On a $3 million apartment, that's the difference between $40,000 and $120,000 in closing costs. That's a significant amount that needs to be factored in your budget from day one. Before we dive into the specific fees, let me share a quick story that perfectly illustrates why this matters. Just last month, we started working with a new client who was looking for a 2-bedroom new development on the Upper East Side. Their budget was about $3.5 million. However, before we started looking, we reviewed the possible closing costs so there are no surprises and they can factor that into their budget. Prior to our conversation, they had no idea that they may need an additional $120,000 for closing costs. This is exactly why we're creating this video, to make sure you're fully prepared for what's really involved in buying a new development in New York City. Okay, let's break down these hidden fees. First up, transfer taxes. This is probably the biggest surprise for most buyers because in a resale, the seller pays the transfer taxes. But in a new development, that cost can be shifted to the buyer. We're talking about both the New York City and the New York State transfer taxes. New York City transfer tax ranges from 1 to 1.425% of the purchase price, and the New York State transfer tax adds another 0.4 to 0.65%. On a $3.5 million apartment that I mentioned earlier, that's about $72,000 just in transfer taxes alone. Here's the trick though, and this is something we've helped numerous clients with. These transfer taxes can sometimes be negotiated with the sponsor, especially in a softer market. We have been successful in negotiating that the sponsor pay these transfer taxes in the majority of our new development deals. But you need to know to ask for this upfront during the initial contract negotiations. The second major hidden cost is the working capital contribution. This is something unique to new developments and some other resale condos that catches many buyers off guard. The sponsor requires buyers to contribute a couple of months of common charges up front to establish the building's operating fund. It is typically 2 months of common charges. So let's say your monthly common charges are $3,000. You can be looking at an additional $6,000 due at the closing table. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the sponsor's attorney fees. In a regular resale, you only pay for your own attorney, but in a new development, you're also paying for the sponsor's attorney. These typically range from $2,000 to $8,000. We always tell our clients to factor this in at the very start. Now here's one more that often surprise even experienced buyers: the super's apartment contribution. Yes, you heard me right. In many new developments, buyers need to contribute to the purchase or maintenance of the superintendent's apartment. The cost varies widely between buildings, but can easily add several $1,000s to your closing costs. You'll also need to pay for the offering plan. This might seem minor compared to the other fees, but it's typically around $500 to $1,000. And while that might not break the bank, it's yet another cost that you need to factor in to your budget. Now let's cover the standard closing costs that you'll encounter in any purchase. But remember, these are on top of all the special new development fees that we just discussed. Number one, Your attorney fees. Expect to pay somewhere between $3,500 to $8,500 for an experienced real estate attorney. And trust me, with any purchase, but particularly a new development purchase, you want an experienced attorney. Number 2, title insurance. This typically runs about 0.4 to 0.5% of the purchase price. On our $3.5 million example, that's roughly $25,000. Title closer gratuity, usually around $500. Number 4, mortgage recording tax. If you're financing the purchase, this is a significant cost, 1.925% of the mortgage amount for loans over $500,000. On an 80% loan for a $3.5 million apartment, that's about $50,000. Here's something crucial we've learned from years of experience. These costs can vary significantly between different new developments. The offering plan will spell out exactly which fees apply, but you need to know where to look. This is why it's so important to work with professionals who understand these nuances and can help you navigate them effectively. Okay, let's wrap this up with some key takeaways to protect yourself when buying a new development in New York City. First, always ask for a detailed closing cost breakdown from your attorney before signing any contracts. This should be a standard practice, but you'd be surprised how many buyers don't do this. Second, build in a buffer of at least 6% of the purchase price for closing costs when budgeting for a new development. It's better to be pleasantly surprised than caught off guard. Third, and this is absolutely crucial, have an experienced real estate attorney review the offering plan thoroughly. Your real estate broker can also identify which fees are negotiable and which aren't, potentially saving you tens of thousands of dollars. Remember, these fees aren't just random costs. They're part of a complex structure of new development purchases in New York City. Understanding them isn't just about being prepared. It's about being able to negotiate effectively and make informed decisions about your investment. We are here to walk you through every step of the process. The key is having the right team in place who understands these nuances and can help you navigate them successfully. That's what we do every day, ensuring our clients make confident, informed decisions in Manhattan's luxury real estate market.